out, my little friend. Get something jammed in here real good. Were you on a Star Cruiser?
I'd love to create new glyphs for my new game mode adventure, such as trap glyphs, lockpicks, keys, and even note entries to discover during their journey. Can someone help me? I just don't want to use the Glyph brander anymore!
Don't worry, Joe. I got your message and I'm here to help. And hello, I am the HeroScaper, here to do something a bit different today. My friend and fellow content creator Joe Crazy recently posted a video asking how to make custom glyphs. As I saw the video, I thought this would be a really fun challenge to figure out. Glyphs are a really unique aspect of HeroScape, as they encourage advancing the game state, as well as giving abilities that may be ultimately game-changing to a lot of figures. I could see the customs community having a lot of fun making their own glyphs, as I've seen tons of fun ideas and concepts already kicked around. With the reveal that Zenithrax can place glyphs as part of their ability set, that mechanical box has now been opened, and I could see a lot more custom creatures and characters having abilities that place glyph onto the battlefield. So Joe Crazy in his video mentioned how he would love to figure out how to develop blank glyphs, so you can put either custom or original HeroScape abilities to complete collection or to add some new ones that you created yourself. He also mentioned that he would love to figure out a way to design different symbols for the back for different game modes or to represent different things. And then finally, Joe mentioned he would love a way to figure out how to develop the template for the stickers on the card and the abilities. So I figured I'd try to dive into all those tasks and figure them out. So the first challenge I encountered was that I did not find any blank glyphs online. Perhaps they exist, but I didn't come upon any. And that's no problem. Thankfully, the community has uploaded the standard HeroScape glyph template. I used this as a reference and brought that into a free program on Windows called 3D Builder. Now, I have no experience with 3D modeling or any of that, so this is more just an introductory overview of what I kind of did in the process. As mentioned before, I had the original glyph scan, so I was able just to trace a hexagon shape over that. And after a bit of trial and error, figured out how to subtract a small hexagon divot, which made it reminiscent of the original glyphs. After a bit more Googling, I figured out how to emboss text and PNG images onto the back of the glyph, and, I don't think the final result is perfect, but it's pretty good. As someone who's never even touched 3D modeling before, it only took me about an hour to figure all this out. Definitely friendly if this is something you wanted to use to make your own glyphs, whether that's for tournaments, or custom prizes, or just to put a symbol or logo that you have on there. Once the glyph was developed, I entered into more familiar territory for me. I put the STL file into my slicer and then sent it off to the 3D printer. Once done, I did the typical post-processing where I rinsed in isopropyl alcohol several times and cured it under UV light. Once the glyph was fully done processing, I sprayed primer on both sides to make sure that the paint layer sticks. Now I have an airbrush, so this process was relatively easy, applying the base coat and the colors for the glyph. But you could certainly do it by hand or use aerosol sprays if you happen to have similar colors available. The colors I chose were burnt red and light bronze, both from Pro Acryl, and they matched close enough to the original colors to be almost indistinguishable. Once the paint dried, I reached out to Joe Crazy and we did a live stream discussing the various ideas and concepts we wanted to see in Treasure Glyph.
I love how I started really high effort. Like I was trying to I made this look almost exactly the same. Now I'm just
it's so funny because obviously we're doing this stuff together, but I really haven't been paying attention to anything that you've been doing. And I love just veering over to the screen. Like, what is the just zoom in on some of the other ones here. So you got Brandar's muffin.
Yeah.
I saw the key. I saw the viper. I saw the book.
We got the
What's
journal.
the grenade look like?
I got the grenade right here.
We came up with a lot of fun ideas. Shout out to Brandar's Muffin, my favorite design I've created, and started assembling the graphics. I was unable to find a blank glyph template online. If there is one, I certainly will update this in the link description below. I found a texture I liked and put it onto a template I found on the HeroScape website of a custom glyph created by the community. I blackened the outline to make a solid fill-in state and added the texture to that. The font I used is in the Beavis family. It was close enough after a few modifications to be good enough for me. The images took a bit of time, but if you have even a slight experience using GIMP or any other photo editing software, it's not that hard. The best way to find things is to just search for the object you want and type in PNG. After it, that will give us some more open and clear results to put on top of the file. Once the designs are all finished, I sent them off to my printer using a special vinyl paper I had on hand. This paper is great because it works on your home printer, and when you cut it off, it peels and sticks right onto the glyph surface. My first try realized that this paper is slightly translucent, so if you're looking for a more brighter and vibrant consistency, I definitely recommend painting the back of your glyph white. Once done, I seal with some varnish just to make sure it all stays intact and the ink doesn't smudge. And we have some decent looking glyphs. So altogether, it's not a very hard process once you kind of get all the elements. And I definitely look forward to seeing what the community has to offer in terms of glyph creation. I'm definitely in favor of giving units similar abilities to other existing powers like Berserker Charge or Frenzy. And there's tons of fun treasure glyph ideas out there as well. And here are the glyphs in their final finished form. I definitely plan on tweaking the model to look a bit more glyph-like, but I'm honestly happy with how they turned out. All the links and files will be listed below in the description, so be sure to check that out if you want to make your own glyphs. After all, it'd be nice to have an alternative to the glyph of Brandar, and not have to use that anymore.
Great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million.
And I just want to thank everyone for making it to the end of the video. Your encouragement and support means the world to me, and honestly just makes this whole process so fun to continue. If you have any custom ideas for glyphs, be sure to leave them in the comment, or if you'd like to see me make any other kind of videos. I'm always looking for that kind of information. Big shout out to Joe Crazy for giving me the idea and helping me make this video. Definitely check out their channel as they have a lot of awesome HeroScape stuff on their end as well. And lastly, I do have an affiliate link from Renegade, so if you want to purchase new HeroScape stuff or any of their other awesome games, definitely click on that as it helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything extra. Well, I am the HeroScaper. Thank you so much for watching, and once again encouraging you to think differently. Bye now.